Welcome to another episode of True Crime Case Files. In this episode, we dive deep into the mysterious murder of Dave Wheeler in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania in October of 1994. Join us as we unravel the truth behind this chilling crime and uncover the identity of the killer. Was it the wife, the lover, or the stalker? Dave Wheeler, a 45-year-old State Farm insurance analyst and a devoted father of two, led an ostensibly ordinary life in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. He was renowned for his unwavering commitment to his profession and his tight-knit family. Dave's aspirations revolved around providing his children with a brighter future, and he ceaselessly strived to accomplish his goals. In October of 1994, Canonsburg was adorned with the vibrant hues of autumn, as leaves painted the streets with shades of red, orange, and gold. The town buzzed with anticipation for the upcoming Halloween festivities, as children eagerly prepared their costumes and carved pumpkins adorned porches throughout the neighborhood. Dave's days were filled with the humdrum routine of a small-town existence. He would rise early each morning, savoring the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafting through his kitchen. As he sipped his morning brew, he would peruse the daily newspaper, the Canonsburg Chronicle, keeping abreast of local news and events. Dave's dedication to his work at State Farm Insurance was unparalleled. He was well respected among his colleagues and clients alike. His meticulous attention to detail and his ability to navigate complex insurance policies earned him a reputation as a trusted analyst. As the days grew shorter and the air crisper, whispers of a sinister presence began to circulate within the town. Rumors spread like wildfire, fueled by speculative discussions at the local watering hole, the Canonsburg Tavern. The patrons debated the possibility of a stalker lurking in the shadows, targeting unsuspecting victims. Word of these rumors reached Dave's ears, but he dismissed them as idle gossip. Little did he know that the events about to unfold would shatter the tranquility of Canonsburg forever. On a cold autumn evening in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, tragedy struck the peaceful town, leaving its residents in shock and disbelief. It was October 1994. A time when the world was captivated by O.J. Simpson's trial. But in the midst of these popular culture events, a local man named Dave Wheeler met a grim fate that would forever change the lives of those who knew him. It was on that fateful day, October 17th, when darkness cast its shadow over Canonsburg, that Dave's life was tragically cut short. The chilling events unfolded outside the local Domino's, a place where families gathered to enjoy a slice of pizza. Little did they know that this seemingly ordinary evening would soon turn into a nightmare. The chilling wind whispered through the streets as Dave stood outside the pizzeria, holding a box of hot pizza in his hands. Suddenly, 3 gunshots pierced the silence, shattering the tranquility of the night. The echoes of the shots reverberated through the air, leaving a haunting feeling in the hearts of those who would later recount the events. It was Patty Horowitz, an ordinary passerby, who stumbled upon the lifeless body of Dave Wheeler. Shock and fear gripped her as she witnessed the aftermath of this gruesome crime. The sight of Dave lying motionless on the ground, the pizza box still clutched in his hands, was enough to send chills down anyone's spine. As news of the murder spread throughout the town, the community was left in a state of utter disbelief. Canonsburg, a place where neighbors knew each other by name, was now a town plagued by fear and suspicion. Who could commit such a heinous act? Was it someone from within the community or an outsider with a vendetta? The investigation into Dave Wheeler's murder had just begun, and the town held its breath, anxiously waiting for answers. The police were determined to uncover the truth behind this chilling crime, scouring every inch of Canonsburg for clues that would lead them to the killer. As news of Dave Wheeler's tragic murder spread through the small town of Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, the police wasted no time in launching a full-scale investigation. Lead investigator Harry Bernardet, a seasoned detective known for his meticulous approach to solving crimes, arrived at the crime scene with a mix of determination and caution. The chilling scene that awaited Bernardet was one that would haunt him for years to come. The air was thick with an eerie silence as he surveyed the area outside the local Domino's, where Dave's lifeless body lay. It was a cold October evening, the kind that sent shivers down your spine. The date, etched into the memories of all those involved, was October 17th, 1994. Bernardet carefully studied the surroundings, his eyes tracing the path of the bullets that had ended Dave's life. 3 shots had been fired, each one finding its mark with deadly accuracy. The shattered glass from the Domino's window, evidence of the chaos that had unfolded, lay scattered on the ground. The crime scene was a macabre tableau, a stark reminder of the fragility of life. As the investigation progressed, the police meticulously combed through every inch of the crime scene, collecting any piece of evidence that could potentially lead them to the killer. They used state-of-the-art forensic tools of the time, carefully bagging and tagging each item. The bloodstains on the pavement were carefully analyzed, and the murder weapon, a gun, was sent to the lab for further examination. The town of Canonsburg was gripped by fear and speculation. Rumors spread like wildfire, fueled by the local media's coverage of the case. The story made headlines in the Canonsburg Daily Gazette, with reporters scrambling to gather any information they could. The community, once known for its tight-knit nature, was now on edge, as everyone wondered who could have committed such a heinous act. As the investigation continued, Bernadette and his team interviewed friends, family, and acquaintances of Dave Wheeler. They delved into his personal life, his relationships, and his work at State Farm Insurance. Every lead was pursued, no stone left unturned. The town held its breath, waiting for answers. Who would commit such a heinous act? The truth remained elusive, hidden beneath the layers of secrecy and deceit. The investigation into the mysterious murder of Dave Wheeler in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania in October of 1994 took a significant turn as the police turned their attention towards the victim's wife, Katrina Wheeler. A cashier at Dollar Tree, Katrina, aged 42, became the prime suspect in this chilling crime that shook the quiet town. As the investigation progressed, the police began scrutinizing Katrina's personality and dreams, searching for any clues that might shed light on a possible motive for the murder. The media frenzy surrounding the case intensified, with local newspapers and television stations speculating on her involvement. The police interrogated Katrina extensively, hoping to uncover any inconsistencies in her statements. The atmosphere in the interrogation room was tense as detectives bombarded her with questions. Katrina's emotions fluctuated throughout the interrogation, ranging from anger to moments of calmness, adding to the intrigue surrounding her potential guilt. The investigators delved into Katrina's background, searching for any signs of discord within her marriage to Dave. Friends and neighbors were interviewed, revealing a seemingly happy and loving couple. However, whispers of marital issues began to surface, hinting at a troubled relationship behind closed doors. To gather more evidence, the police meticulously combed through Katrina's personal belongings, searching for any clues that might connect her to the crime. They discovered a diary hidden away in a drawer, its pages filled with cryptic entries and emotional outpourings. The diary became a focal point of the investigation, as detectives meticulously analyzed its contents for any clues that could tie Katrina to the murder. As the investigation unfolded, the media circus surrounding the case reached a fever pitch. Local news outlets reported, speculating on the guilt or innocence of Katrina Wheeler. Canonsburg, once a peaceful town, was now gripped by fear and suspicion, as neighbors and friends questioned the true nature of the seemingly ordinary woman. The police were determined to uncover the truth, meticulously examining every piece of evidence, no matter how small. They reached out to forensic experts, analyzing fingerprints, DNA samples, and ballistics reports. The pressure was mounting on the investigators to solve the case and bring justice to Dave Wheeler. Stephanie Daniels, a 24-year-old employee at the local Domino's Pizza, found herself thrust into the spotlight as the investigation into the murder of Dave Wheeler unfolded. With her connection to the victim as his secret lover, the police were eager to uncover any potential motives that could link her to this chilling crime. Stephanie, a young woman with dreams of a bright future, had caught the attention of the authorities. As they delved into her background, they discovered that she had been working at Domino's for the past 2 years, diligently serving pizzas to the residents of Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. She had always been known for her friendly demeanor and efficient work ethic, earning her the respect of her colleagues. The police began their interrogation, keen on understanding Stephanie's relationship with Dave and whether it could have led to a motive for murder. The questioning took place in a small, dimly lit room, with a single table separating Stephanie from the detectives. The tension in the air was palpable as the investigators pressed for answers. Stephanie's emotions ran the gamut during the interrogation. At times, she appeared angry, frustrated by the accusations being thrown her way. She vehemently denied any involvement in Dave's murder, stating that she had no reason to harm the man she had secretly loved. Her voice quivered with a mix of fear and desperation as she pleaded her innocence. Confusion also clouded Stephanie's face as she struggled to understand how she had become a suspect in this heinous crime. She recounted the moments leading up to Dave's death, emphasizing that they had shared a secret love, kept hidden from the prying eyes of their friends and families. She insisted that their relationship had been a source of solace and happiness, not a motive for murder. As the interrogation continued, Stephanie's alibi began to take shape. She provided the police with a detailed account of her activities on the night of the murder, corroborated by her co-workers at Domino's. They confirmed that she had been working her usual shift, taking orders and preparing pizzas, oblivious to the tragedy that was unfolding just outside their doors. The detectives, armed with this newfound information, left no stone unturned as they investigated Stephanie's background further. They scoured through her personal belongings, searching for any evidence that could link her to the crime. However, their efforts yielded no substantial proof of her involvement. As the investigation progressed, the media frenzy surrounding the case intensified. News outlets across Pennsylvania covered the story extensively, speculating on the potential motives of both Stephanie and Dave's wife, Katrina. The public, hungry for answers, dissected every detail, forming their own theories about what truly happened on that fateful night in October of 1994. In the midst of this whirlwind, Stephanie Daniels found herself caught in the crosshairs of suspicion. The weight of the investigation bore down on her, threatening to shatter her dreams and reputation. With each passing day, the pressure mounted, and the truth seemed further out of reach. As the investigation into the mysterious murder of Dave Wheeler in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania in October of 1994 continued, a breakthrough occurred, sending shockwaves through the small town. It was a crisp autumn day, with leaves of vibrant red and golden hues falling gently to the ground. The air was filled with a sense of anticipation as the police stumbled upon a crucial piece of evidence that would propel the case forward. It was a poorly written letter, addressed to Dave Wheeler. The discovery of this letter was like finding a needle in a haystack, but it held the potential to shed new light on the case. The police carefully examined the letter, analyzing every word and punctuation mark, hoping to uncover valuable information that could lead them closer to the truth. The letter, written in a shaky hand, was filled with bizarre messages and grammatical errors. It was a chilling reminder of the danger that lurked in the shadows of this seemingly peaceful town. The police immediately contacted handwriting experts to determine the identity of the letter's author. Every detail mattered, from the angle of the strokes to the pressure applied on the paper. As news of this breakthrough spread, the media frenzy surrounding the case intensified. Local newspapers, such as the Canonsburg Chronicle, dedicated coverage to the letter, speculating about its significance and potential connection to the murder. TV stations like WPXI Pittsburgh aired reports, interviewing experts and sharing theories with the public. The town was captivated, united in its quest for justice. The police meticulously analyzed the contents of the letter, searching for any clues that could help identify the sender. References to events and brands in October of 1994 peppered the text, helping the investigation to identify when it was written. Mentions of the World Series, where the Atlanta Braves triumphed over the Cleveland Indians, and the release of the hit movie Pulp Fiction created a timeline for the letter's origin. Days turned into weeks as the investigation delved deeper into the secrets hidden within the letter. Detectives worked tirelessly, combing through databases, cross-referencing names, and following leads. The pressure was mounting, and the town held its breath, anxiously awaiting a breakthrough that would bring closure to this chilling crime. In the investigation of the mysterious murder of Dave Wheeler in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, a new suspect emerged, Martha Solstheim, a 61-year-old grandmother and mother of 4. Martha had a troubled history, plagued by mental instability and an unhealthy obsession with Dave. As the police delved deeper into her life, they discovered a woman consumed by her bizarre infatuation. Martha's obsession with Dave was no secret. She had been known to stalk him, following his every move with an unnerving persistence. In addition, her dyslexia identified her as the writer of the mysterious letter. The police began scrutinizing her personality, dreams, and possible motives, hoping to uncover the truth behind her involvement in this chilling crime. During the interrogation, Martha's emotional state fluctuated, revealing the complexity of her troubled mind. At times, she appeared calm and collected, denying any connection to the murder. But as the questioning intensified, her facade began to crumble, and glimpses of her true nature emerged. In the small, dimly lit interrogation room, Martha's eyes darted nervously as she recounted her encounters with Dave. She spoke of chance meetings at the local grocery store, where she would pretend to bump into him accidentally. She described how she would follow him from a distance, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. As the police presented evidence linking Martha to the crime, her emotions spiraled out of control. She vehemently denied any involvement, but her trembling hands and tear-streaked face betrayed her in her turmoil. The weight of the investigation bore down on her, and the realization that her secret obsession had been exposed became too much to bear. The police meticulously examined Martha's background, searching for any clues that could shed light on her motives. They discovered a collection of newspaper clippings, meticulously cut and organized, all featuring stories about Dave. The clippings dated back years, evidence of Martha's long-standing fixation. It became apparent that Martha's mental instability had reached a dangerous level. Her obsession had consumed her, blurring the line between fantasy and reality. The police began to understand the depths of her delusion and the lengths she would go to possess the object of her desire. As the investigation continued, Martha's troubled mind became a focal point. The police enlisted the help of psychologists and psychiatrists to delve deeper into her psyche, hoping to uncover the true extent of her obsession and its connection to the murder. In the small town of Canonsburg, whispers of Martha's involvement spread like wildfire. The community became captivated by the unfolding drama, with local media outlets covering every twist and turn in the investigation. As October of 1994 came to a close, the investigation into Dave Wheeler's murder took an unexpected turn. Martha Solstheim's troubled mind held the key to unraveling the truth behind this chilling crime. The police were determined to uncover every detail, no matter how dark, in their quest for justice. After an exhaustive investigation that captivated the area, the truth behind the chilling murder of Dave Wheeler in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, had finally been revealed. It was Martha Solstheim, a 61-year-old grandmother and mother of four, who was unveiled as the cold-blooded killer. Martha, with a history of mental instability and an unhealthy obsession with Dave, had been relentlessly stalking him for months leading up to that fateful day. Her twisted belief that she and Dave were soul twins had driven her to the point of madness, ultimately resulting in the tragic loss of his life. Consumed by her delusions, Martha believed that by killing Dave, she would merge their souls and become one. And it was on that chilly October evening when Martha's twisted fantasy reached its horrifying climax. Armed with a gun, she approached Dave outside the local Domino's, where he had been holding a pizza. In a chilling act of violence, Martha shot him 3 times, abruptly ending his life and shattering the peace of Canonsburg. The aftermath of the murder sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community. The residents of Canonsburg, who had known Dave as a loving father and dedicated professional, were left reeling from the senseless tragedy. The local media covered the case extensively, with newspapers and television stations reporting on every twist and turn of the investigation. As the truth emerged, the community struggled to comprehend the depths of Martha's obsession and the darkness that had consumed her. With the murderer identified, the Canonsburg police wasted no time in apprehending Martha Solstheim, the twisted individual responsible for the chilling murder of Dave Wheeler. It was a crisp autumn day in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, on November 15, 1994, when the long arm of the law finally caught up with Martha. The arrest took place outside the local Dollar Tree, where Martha was seen loitering near the entrance, her eyes darting nervously as she clutched a faded newspaper in her trembling hands. As the police moved in, a small crowd had gathered, drawn by the commotion and the flashing lights of the patrol cars. News of the arrest had spread like wildfire, with whispers of the Canonsburg killer echoing through the town. Local media outlets, such as the Canonsburg Chronicle and the Pittsburgh Gazette, had been closely following the case since its inception, providing updates to a captivated audience. Martha's reaction to her own arrest was captured by the cameras, freezing the moment for all to see. Her eyes widened in shock, a mix of disbelief and perhaps a hint of satisfaction flickering across her face. The handcuffs clicked shut around her wrists, symbolizing the end of a terrifying chapter that had gripped the community for weeks. The victim's family, still reeling from the loss of their beloved Dave, received the news of the arrest with a mix of relief and anguish. The weight of grief that had burdened their hearts since that fateful day in October was now joined by a glimmer of hope for justice. The Wheeler family, known for their resilience and unwavering support for one another, rallied together, finding solace in the knowledge that the person responsible for their pain would now face the consequences of her actions. The arrest of Martha Solstheim marked the beginning of a new phase in the investigation. The police, armed with a mountain of evidence meticulously gathered over the course of their arduous inquiry, prepared to present their case to the court. The trial, set to take place in the historic Washington County Courthouse, promised to be a media spectacle, with reporters from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and local television stations vying for a front-row seat to the proceedings. The trial of Martha Solstheim, the accused murderer in the mysterious death of Dave Wheeler, began on a crisp December morning in 1994. The courtroom, filled with anticipation, was buzzing with reporters and spectators eager to witness justice being served. Prosecutor Paul Jankowski, a seasoned legal expert, meticulously presented a compelling argument against Martha. He meticulously laid out the evidence, painting a vivid picture of her twisted obsession with Dave and her delusional belief that they were soul twins. Jankowski highlighted Martha's long history of mental instability and her disturbing pattern of stalking Dave, following his every move. The courtroom was captivated as he played chilling audio recordings of Martha's disturbing phone calls to the victim's family. On the other side of the courtroom, defense attorney Louis Richard fought vigorously to protect Martha's interests. Richard, known for his tenacity and courtroom prowess, skillfully cross-examined the prosecution's witnesses, attempting to cast doubt on their credibility. He argued that Martha's mental state should be taken into consideration, emphasizing her long-standing history of mental illness. Richard presented expert testimony from renowned psychologists who testified to Martha's diminished capacity and her inability to distinguish between reality and her delusions. The victim's family, sitting in the front row, clung to each other for support. Their eyes filled with tears as they listened to the heart-wrenching testimonies and saw graphic crime scene photos. The pain of their loss was palpable, and their hope for justice hung in the balance. As the trial progressed, the jury listened intently to the testimonies, examined the evidence, and deliberated extensively. Finally, after weeks of intense scrutiny, the verdict was reached. Martha Solstheim was found guilty of first-degree murder. The courtroom erupted in a mix of emotions, with the victim's family finding solace in the justice served. The sentencing phase of the trial was equally significant. The judge, taking into account the severity of the crime, the impact on the victim's family, and Martha's mental state, handed down a sentence of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. The courtroom fell silent as the weight of the decision settled in. In the years that would follow, the case of Martha Solstheim and the murder of Dave Wheeler served as a cautionary tale, shedding light on the devastating consequences of untreated mental illness and the dangers of obsession. The debate surrounding the adequacy of the punishment and the concept of justice raged on, sparking discussions in legal circles, mental health organizations, and the general public. In the wake of the trial, the lives of all those involved in the chilling murder of Dave Wheeler took a new and uncertain turn. Each person embarked on their own unique journey towards healing and closure. Katrina Wheeler, Dave's devoted wife and a cashier at Dollar Tree, sought solace in the support of her close-knit community. She leaned on her friends and family for strength, finding comfort in their unwavering love. Katrina attended therapy sessions to help process the trauma she had endured, slowly rebuilding her life with resilience and determination. Stephanie Daniels, the young Domino's employee and Dave's secret lover, faced a barrage of media attention and scrutiny. She retreated from the public eye, seeking refuge in the embrace of her family. Stephanie sought therapy to navigate the complex emotions that arose from the trial, gradually finding a path towards forgiveness and self-discovery. The police officers who tirelessly worked on the case, led by the tenacious investigator Harry Bernardet, were hailed as heroes in the community. Their dedication and meticulous attention to detail had brought justice to Dave's grieving family in the town of Canonsburg. The officers continued their tireless efforts to protect and serve, their commitment undeterred by the challenges they faced. As the years passed, the town of Canonsburg gradually healed from the wounds inflicted by this tragic event. The memory of Dave Wheeler and the events of October 1994 remained etched in the collective consciousness of the community. The case served as a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing our loved ones. And thus, the story of Dave Wheeler's tragic murder comes to a close. This episode of True Crime Case Files delved into the intricate details of the investigation, the suspects, and the ultimate revelation of the killer. Join us next time as we unravel another captivating true crime story. Hey, true crime case solvers, interested in more real-life murder mysteries? Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. And do you have any thoughts about this case or have a case of your own you'd like us to investigate? Leave us a comment. Until then, stay safe, true crime case solvers.